All right, welcome to yet a brand new and also exciting week of the desk. Anti-Tuli outside. Tuli Wabwed with the president recently affirmed and he said yes, the economy was fully open and there are no strings attached, although you must follow the SOPs now more than ever. I'm yours truly, Shadrack Kisame, and thank you very much for keeping yourselves glued onto U24 television. Now we trust that every time you watch U24 you're inspired, you're motivated, and above all you are educated. Like tonight we're talking the National Development Plan. I'm telling you, there's so much economics that we're going to be talking about, but guess what? I have students on set. One, we don't know that he graduated or not because last year he made so much noise for the lecturers and also his principal. But guess what? All that in tonight's show. But you better sit back, relax, better lean forward or even stand up, because tonight on set I have Ameria and of course our fellow culprit Tukundane Ivan. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much.
How is the new year?
The new year so far so good. We are moving.
Did you graduate? What's happening?
Graduation, we are going to graduate.
So not yet?
Not yet.
What's happening? What was bringing the delay? Is it because you over-talked for the principal? What's
not
happening?
Because I over-talked, but I think there was something which was not right, but they are trying to put everything in order. So hopefully by the mid of this year or in July, we shall have our graduation.
Let's evaluate the evaluate of such platforms for people, for citizens, but also for students like you. Do you think when you came out once, twice on the desk and addressed the same issue, do you think it's some of the reason as to why people are like, hey, this man has airtime on TV?
Really, I must appreciate these platforms because it is one of the easiest ways that we capture a bigger population within a shortest period of time. And her being a student leader and other student leaders plus the people concerned, they also do watch. And I think the ideas we bring here on the TV, we speak to them. They may not come directed to us just that we have picked this idea, but when we see something changing and we have been talking about it, then you can signal that there is something that there is an impact that has been created. So I appreciate these shows, and really they have done something tremendous to the decision making of the responsible officers. Right.
Before we dive deep, Tuli outside, Tuli Wabwe.
Yes.
How are you taking that?
By the way, for me, I'm one of the people who was so much having different perspective on this COVID pandemic.
I know.
Its lockdown.
I know. I know.
But I think the president has kept his word, first of all. And secondly, I think the steps that are being taken, they are trying to make our economy to revive, because already we are having a poorly performing economy, and we must revive the economy and move forward.
You know, stats show that ever since they started easing on lockdown last year, there has been at least been a difference, and we've seen the economy try to slightly go back to where it was. So hopefully this opening up will be something. But I want you to introduce to the public, also to the desk viewers, what we're trying to do today, the National Development Plan. In simple terms, for a layman who is in Chibuli, Chikuba Mutwe, maybe in Zambia, what do you mean and what are we talking tonight?
When we are talking about the National Development Plan, every country, every economy, every individual, every institution, they have got a running order. The set of events, how they want to go or man their activities. So when we talk about a national development plan, every country, be it these improved countries, America and etc., plus even us, the developing countries, because we must acknowledge that Uganda, we are still a developing country. Recently I was looking at statistics about poverty levels. Where Uganda, we are still among the worst performing countries.
We're still poor.
Yes. But still we have a plan that we follow as a country, whereby it is comprised.
That's where I want to bring in Ameria real quick. Do you agree, or do you think we have, is it for sure, do we have a plan as a country?
Yes, we do have a plan.
Really? Do we?
Yes.
Other than books, do you think government really has a plan that it follows?
Yes, that's why every country has a national budget. If I'm talking about the national budget, every country has a national budget to see how much is allocated to every project. Now here, allow me bring in the pillars of the national development plan. we have the environment, we have the economy, and we have the society. When we talk about the society, we want to see how has this strategy of the economy affected the society. How are the people being considered? Because we believe that in the society we have people. Are the strategies of the government considering the equality of the people? What about the justice of the people? That's what we always look about, the economic strategy under this pillar of society.
But do we for Uganda, before we move very fast? Yes, those are the pillars, but are people really considered? Is society really considered in this plan?
Yes, if you're to give your free
opinion.
Yes, people are considered. Now remember, last month I had the KCCA was chasing people off the streets to go to the gazetted areas, so that.
Is that part of the plan?
Yeah, it is part of the plan. The government might be having the issues or considering the well-being of the people. Though as the people, we are not going to see it as a consideration on our side.
That's why I want to bring in Ivan real quick. Ivan.
Yes, please.
So he has explained and broken down it very well, that part of it is society is a pillar for this plan. So as they are planning, they consider society and they say, okay, society, the cities is part of society. So we say to beautify it and to regulate things, batembei awe. But batembei awe is muntu wa bulijo, muntu wa wansi. What is your take on that?
By the way, I will give a different perspective which we will not believe. I'm one person now who acknowledges and who believes that as a city, as a capital city of the country, should be decongested and we have something beautiful.
Were you bribed?
No, no. Sometimes you need to be objective and real. When you look at our neighboring countries like Nairobi, when you look at Kigali, those cities are very appetizing. But when you look at our city in Kampala, you look at Nakawa, you look at different roads, they are really congested and there are potholes. So when you talk about omuntu wa bulijjo, recently I was here at the new tax park. The people have these batembei. They have got their mari cargo. They have displayed it on covering half of the road.
The moment where you're supposed to walk at.
The moment you step on it, it is trouble. And yet there is some other entrepreneur who has rented a house, is having a room and he has put there similar commodities. Now guess what? That particular entrepreneur who has rented is paying rent, is paying KCCA, is paying everything. But this Mutembe is limiting him the market, yet is not contributing anything to the economy. So really I subscribe to whoever says that we decongest the city, because we are not, if we want to pursue national development initiative goals, we must first forego some of the things.
So is that, are you sacrificing Muntu wa wansi for these goals?
Well, we can have them have their businesses in a different area, but not having them in the middle of the city, because they are not contributing anything to the economy.
Before we go for a short break, Ameria, let's imagine you are in a position of power after this, let's say 5 years, and then you're maybe in KCCA somewhere where you can be able to implement something or suggest something, and then you have a relative, which relative's business is doing the same. They are hawking or they are laying things on the street. Would you?
Of course, yes.
She's talking. Yes. You know, when people get jobs, they change. When people get why would you do this? Is it because you're patriotic or because it's the right thing to do?
This is all about citizenship, and I'm so glad the topic is about the economy. If I'm a leader or I've gotten a job in KCCA, I won't stop that from happening because I have a relative who is doing that. He has to be in the right place so that we can have our economy develop. You get? Because after all, that is the money they're going to pay to the KCCA office. Under that office, still that money will be brought back to
the economy. So someone is watching you down there and they have not gone to school because their parent was chased off the street and they have no school fees. What is your word to such a person?
No, the thing is they didn't chase them off the street. They were only telling them just get a gazetted area to operate your business from, but not stopping them from working or carrying out their business. It's a matter of employing the citizenship in oneself. Be in a gazetted area, pay whatever is put on ground. You can keep operating, and I'm sure you can still get customers other than congesting the street. You're disturbing people. You're pulling people. I know they've ever pulled you.
I'm telling you, this one is just having beef on Vatembe. She has beef on hawkers. But let's go for a short break. But when we come back, we're still talking about some of those pillars that construct the National Development Plan and some of these goals, and why you should be patriotic enough to accept some of these changes, provided they take the economy to the next level. Do not go away, we're coming back. All right, now if you're just joining us, I'm afraid you've missed the first very insightful segment of this very lovely episode of The Desk. And to be fair enough, if you want to keep getting these episodes, you want to rush out right now to my YouTube channel. If you are watching on U24 television, rush to YouTube Shadrack Kisame, and remember to hit that subscription and also notification bell in case we put up something. Trust me, you will be the first one to know. Now guess what? On set tonight I have students extremely brilliant, and also they are very patriotic. I'm telling you, gone are the days where I would leave national issues to only members of parliament. Right now, it starts at the age where someone is considered to be nothing. But trust me, these people have something, and you can never put them on the wall. But you can follow this very lovely discussion on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Do it for Shadrack Kisame. Now, if you've not liked my page on Facebook, I'm telling you, you're too late. However, you have a minute right now before we dive back in this discussion to get your phone and like the page. Type in Shadrack Kisame for all the events, everything that The Desk and Shadrack Kisame is all about. Now remember, The Desk is not only a TV show, we are a platform, we are a family. Now you want to start reaching out. For you who thinks you have no career, you want some business advice, you want to get somewhere, we have people, it's a family. We have the Ivans here and they can definitely help out. So just reach out to The Desk through Shadrack Kisame and we'll definitely be able to get back to you. But Ameria, you are giving us some of these pillars, and we've seen society, how society is affected and how they should oblige to make this plan work. And then you are talking about environment. How do we incorporate this?
With the case of environment, we see on how, remember we are on the economic development planning. Yeah. We see how all those economic strategies are going to cooperate with the environment without polluting it. Yeah. For example, we can talk about you get to know that there are very many people who have this business of gathering bottles. Yes. Bottles. Yes. Yeah. They are benefiting from it, and at the same time they are keeping the environment clean. Yes. Yeah. And another thing we can talk. But
you see, on the other hand, that is now for Muntu. But we talk about Ivan. I want to bring you in there. When you talk about investors, you slash down a whole forest to set up a company. What is your say on that?
I just appreciate that Uganda, we are one of the people who are, or one of the countries who have tried to put strategies to make sure that we conserve the environment. Right. However, we have had these challenges because of the political crisis and lack of patriotism amongst the leaders.
But how is that political?
I want to bring in that some companies from outside, they come through unauthorized ways. And when they reach here in Uganda,
we have the National Investment Authority. All those people have to go through the National Investment Authority. They have to go through Ministry of what?
I must tell you that one of the reasons why Uganda is still considered a poor country is because of high corruption levels. Those ministries are there. Those the procedures, they are there, how they are supposed to follow. But guess what? When those companies come, they do some corruption along the way. Right. And therefore, when they get in the country, they kill one eye of preserving the environment. And you find, like, for example, on Masakambarara Road. Yeah. There is a swamp where all Chinese, they occupied it with rice, and they destroyed everything. Remember, they are affecting the climate and the environment of we Ugandans. That's why, by the way, you are seeing seasons changing. You are seeing in January we are having rains. Then in March we are having too much sunshine. So we are no longer having consistent climate.
But now, Ameria, there are countries like Dubai. There are deserts, but their economies are high and they don't care what you're talking about, your environment conservation. You know, they do not care. All they care about is the economy boosted. What would be your say on that?
By the way, I don't see it as a threat. Yeah, our environment is being affected. But since they're affecting it in a good way of improving our economy, because I'm sure, like as my colleague has said, that industry, is it called the Rukaya rice? What?
Yes.
I'm sure there are very many people engaged in that industry.
And there are so many jobs.
There are so many jobs, and that one, it is helping different people. At least they can get their real income. That is real capital. They can get their real income. They take children to school. They pay tax in different ways. You know, in Uganda we pay taxes in different ways.
I'm telling you, indirectly.
Directly. So that one isn't a problem. Isn't a problem to our country. After we are getting revenue, for us we are aiming at boosting our economy.
That's why I want to bring you in. At what cost do we have to pay for these jobs that are brought in by foreign investors?
Before we come there, I want to remind you that in 1960, the previous Deputy Prime Minister Honorable Moses Ali, was representing Uganda in donating food to Dubai. Dubai was the very poor country. But now the economy of Dubai has gone
skyrocketed.
Up. Yes, it has skyrocketed at a very high speed. The reason being, they have industrialized their economy. They have chosen the direction they want to take.
They've taken away petty issues of destroying the environment.
That's why you see many members of parliament, everyone who gets some money is running to Dubai for a vacation, for etc. But for Uganda,
Honorable Katolu went to enjoy. That's why he went to Parliament.
For Honorable Katolu is a different case. He got money at an old age, so he's enjoying his life, of which I will not talk about that. But with Uganda, we are called the pearl of Africa, and we are gifted with good natural environment. It is like when you are a student. It's not because that someone gets things from class and so you must also do the same. We must employ different strategies to achieve the same goal. So if Dubai opted for industrialization, can Uganda manage that? If we are talking about jobs, the people they employ, these companies are very funny. We are always given the worst jobs, and even the money they pay you does not help you. That's why you saw when Corona came in, they were saying majority of people depend on Ameria.
Hand to mouth.
Yes, hand to mouth. They give you 10K, you consume it. So for me, I do not subscribe to whoever says that companies come and give us jobs, because the jobs they are giving us are these small jobs, and yet as a country, had we preserved our environment, would actually having agriculture as our backbone, would benchmark on agriculture. We invest intensively in agriculture, and we get much better than these companies who come to pretend that they are giving us better jobs.
Ivan is just there politicking, but this is let me give you a tricky one. Let's say you are in a position of power. Let's say in the Uganda Investment Authority, and there's this investor who is coming, and it's at a cost of removing a swamp, but the job openings would be close to 1,000. Over 1,000 people from that locality are going to get those jobs, and the wage is good. What would you do? Would you clear the swamp?
Yeah, I would support that, clearing the swamp.
Why?
Point number one, when the swamp is cleared for something better, that one it is fine. But when a swamp is cleared, maybe someone has cleared the swamp and he wants to set up a residential house, there I would be against it. But when a swamp is cleared for economic development, I would be in support of it. Now, for example, there is in last year's budget we had the power extension to villages.
And
people were we are shouting, "You're destroying our plantation." You get the point. They are shouting,
the electricity.
They are shouting, but they don't know they are going to be the beneficiaries. For example, when electricity is extended to those areas, I'm sure people are going to get very many opportunities, and there are those opportunities that are going to move our country to a better position.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have relatives in the village?
Yes.
So
and I'm from the village.
And don't you think they have a reason for them as villagers? Won't we consider what they are saying?
Yeah, of course. When they're extending those poles, they do not cut off everything. They are just 5 plants only, but they shout because they don't know what is the future in this. They are not seeing the opportunities. But what I would encourage the government to do is to always put people to educate people about the project they are building for them.
Because when you say you would want government to put people, are you indirectly saying that before government has these projects, they do not take the time to sensitize the public?
Yeah, because if they had done that, then people would not complain.
But there would still be an opposition. People like Ivan oppose for nothing.
No, don't be like that. I don't oppose for nothing.
Not really.
I oppose where there is a
Objective.
reason.
Yeah.
Very objective and very real.
That's fair.
Yeah. So Ivan, before we go for a short break, I want to find out. Explain to the viewers watching, if you're knowledgeable, that there are people who are in government and they are paid taxpayers' money just to do sensitization about government's plan every year or every economic year.
Even last year I told you about this thing. That for us we are coming here to give them our ideas for free. Yet there is a budget catered for those people. As a government, you must sensitize the people and your citizens.
Yes.
You cannot just leave them like that. You see, why people protest now, it's because of ignorance, by the way. If people are aware of the development initiative the government is bringing,
if they had known,
they would not protest. But the problem is, you just bring a project and you bump into them. Yet you know that you are having a large population which is poor and living in desperate conditions. For that matter, therefore, they will be able to sacrifice anything to make sure that they deter that particular project, or they deter that person trying to bring development in the what? In the village.
Let's go for a break, but when we come back, we dive deep on the awareness of the plans, the budgets, like she mentioned, one of the tools, how the awareness is done, because it could be good intentions but not really marketed. And then people do not know what you're doing. It's like doing something in the dark, and then you come out and say, "Oh, I've been planning for you," and the person is like, "I've not seen you do that." So maybe we'll just talk about how government can bring this awareness to people so that they can know. But do not go away. You're still on the desk, and the desk takes a break, but the desk returns in a bit. Alright, we're still broadcasting here at our home at UBC headquarters, but we were on U24 television. Now trust me, we are in the heart of Kampala, Nakasero Hill. Actually, we're at Nile Avenue, and guess what? You are still on U24 and you are on the desk, the continent's leading intellectual platform. Actually, the highest platform for solution finding. You guessed right. You are on the desk. But trust me, matters of economics are some of the things that government should go out on its way to sensitize and also create awareness so that the public can know, because some people, like we said earlier, just oppose because of lack of information. What are some of the ways that government can popularize some of the national plans that they do every year?
Thank you very much. One of the things, they should mobilize the energies of its citizens, then the investors, the would-be potential investors, and even the people occupying political spaces and economic spaces. One of the things that, like for example, currently we are having a problem of fuel prices which are skyrocketing at a very high speed. People have deserted the transport industry because there are some people who feel they have a bigger portion in the economy than others. There is hoarding of this fuel.
But that was sorted. It was an issue at the border. It has nothing to do with key players in
No,
in
it is only that maybe you may not want to speak it before camera, but I'm telling you that some people who are hoarding, fuel hoarding, such that they skyrocket the prices of fuel, and you know that our debt. Yes. As a country, we are soon going to a red line, and they are planning to stop giving us anything like money in debt, or if they are trying to borrow us, they are soon stopping. So as a country now, we need first of all to build the spirit of patriotism among your citizens. For my belief,
how do you do that?
Through sensitization and bringing programs to the people at village level, sub-county, district. You see here Uganda, the things are there, but in writing. They give money to different people to do what we are speaking here. But guess what? They don't do that.
But that's why I want to bring in Ameria at this point real quick. You have relatives in the village. You've been to the village before. But there's a time where people go to the parish to know what's happening. There's an immunization plan happening. There's this happening. So government is doing what it should.
Actually, I would like to appreciate the health ministry, because it is doing its level best. That's why anytime they bring in any immunization, people comply without complaining, because those people, they do advertise it even before they can complement
but
it.
Did they get the net continue?
Yes, of course. So that's why, bringing it to our matter, if really the National Development Authority, the Economic Authority, can do the same, can sensitize people about the projects they are bringing their way, like that of power extension, they tell people what are the benefits of this project. Surely people would not shout, but they just compliment their projects without influencing without involving the people, asking them of their views. So people had to complain and shout and be against the project development.
Do you think people who are in the awareness office, or people who are responsible to popularize some of these plans, are they doing a really good job?
Yes.
You think so? They're doing a good job, or you fear too? Because policymakers are always watching, and I want to hear young, brilliant minds like you. What do you think? Do you think they have done a good job so far?
I beg your pardon.
Do you think the people who are in government offices, in sectors of awareness, sectors of popularizing some of these plans we're talking about, do you think they're doing a good job?
It depends on the ministry. I've already mentioned that.
Apart from health, ministry, that you've given a tick.
The percentage is at below 50%, if I may say.
Ivan, you see, because taxpayers' money is usually spent to do some of these things, and when a budget is passed, their salaries.
Yes.
And according to the salaries, public service will say, hey, we are paying these people for awareness. But if are they doing a good job? Do we have efficiency?
By the way, even I think if you can get a chance and you go and interview President Museveni, he will tell you that they are not doing a good job, yet he is presiding over the same government. He also knows. For me, I will not fear to speak this. They are trying to do their best, but the major disease of this country is high corruption levels. For as long as we still have high corruption levels, we shall not achieve our national development plan.
But you know, Ivan, when people talk about corruption, when you talk about corruption, you make it abstract, as if people who do corruption come from out of this world. They are your relatives, our relatives. They are no more Ugandans. What's happening?
Now you give a penalty to people in authority. Because, my brother, if you are charged with this show, any mistake, any error that is committed, you should be accountable. Yes. So equally the same, if we elect our leaders into the powers of office, and they get there, they start practicing corruption, we should hold them accountable. The law is there, but the problem is they are not.
IGG is always prosecuting people.
Let me tell you, President Museveni, I think it was last year, when the IGG said that he's going now to audit lifestyle of people. He was instructed to go slow, because those people who do corruption again come and invest the same money in the country. So really, you find that they are even bringing down the powers of the person responsible, maybe to curb down corruption. Then after this corruption comes in, there is inflation. The moment you find the country is having high levels of inflation, a lot of money in circulation, you will find a scenario that, like for example now here in Kampala, you spend 20k there and you ask yourself what you have done and you cannot see it. So for a country to achieve its national development plan, it must create capacity among citizens, build energies, and improve chances of investment and employment levels by encouraging the would-be potential investors to create a very good political climate in the country and good economic policies that are going to ignite or to call the people who would wish to invest in our country.
So the government's inability to include the general public, that the inclusion mismatch is what is bringing the problem with the
absolutely
with the plan.
You are on a point. So and it should work on that. If it works on that, we may not achieve them 100%.
Yes.
But for us, we are saying we should be on a steady progress.
But when you're doing research, usually you do visibility studies, and I want to agree with what they do also with government. They would do a visibility study or visibility plan. They come ask ABCD, they ask muntu wa bulijjo.
Yes.
So how then aren't they included, yet the visibility study is done from them?
They do it for ceremonial purposes. They don't do it for consideration. You see someone to come, maybe I have a party on Saturday and I come early morning just to show you that I have invited you.
Yes.
But I was not even intending to. So that's what
should have invited me on Wednesday.
Yes. So that's what they do. They just come because for them they want to account that they have done an activity. They go there and get their salaries and they get the money. But when in actual sense, the feedback they get from the public is not what they go and do.
And report.
They report according to the government. They do not represent the voices of their people. That's why some of them feared to come and feature in these recent polls. That is a fact.
I'm telling you,
yes.
When Ivan starts politicking, we cannot finish. But we've come to the close of the discussion. What are your last words, Ameria, to people who are watching you? You are a students leader. Maybe, God willing, in a few years you'd be in government. What are your last words?
What I would bring to the public is it's all about complying to the government procedures, especially under the economic strategies. Especially those people on the street, they say, get off the street, then let us respect that. Let us move our country to the next level. Let us keep complying. Let us be on the next level, because we've seen that our country, Uganda, it has been branded a failure, if I may say. Thank you very much.
I'm telling you, harsh words right there coming from Ameria. So much harsh words. She's saying our country's been because of you people, get off the streets. She's so much about town. But Ivan, what are your last words as we wind up?
For me, I want to call upon everybody that when we are pursuing our national objectives, our national plan, really we should not be partisan. You see, one of the reasons why even some of these things are not implemented is because we have some biased politicians. You find for them they are ever there to oppose whatever government brings, even when it is within the interest of the people. So if they say we are decongesting the city, please don't bring your politics of hate, your politics of propaganda. Let us be objective. I call upon all youth, all stakeholders to come and mobilize energy such that we pursue our national goals. Remember, the better country is for everyone.
And they are trying to achieve what everyone else out there wants to achieve, but for them they are bold enough to actually come on such platforms intellectually, and they battle out and also maybe share to the public what they think they have to say or what could help the economy. But remember, we've been here at our home at Nile Avenue at Nakasero Hill UBC headquarters, but we are on U24 television. Now from me and the entire U24 management for tonight's episode, we would like to say good night, good luck, adios for God and my country. May the good Lord bless this beautiful Uganda. Now until next week, same place, same time, and of course same host. Good night. Remember, tuli outside, tuli wabweru.